In this video, I'm going to give you my honest review of Jobber as a real home service and trade business owner. I'm not just some random person giving reviews of just random softwares. I'm an actual business owner with an actual business here in Colorado. So why should you care? Because you're likely in the market for a software to make your life easier, and you're doing the research right now. So my hope is that if you watch this whole video, I'll give you all of the reasons why you should or should not use Jobber for your home service or trade business. All right, I just logged into my Jobber account for Bear Claw Land Services, and you'll see that a lot of things are zeroed out here. We're right in the middle of snow plowing season, so we only create jobs and visits on days that we plow, and right now we're plowing about once a week. So this is a perfect time for me to create the helpful content for you to show you how to set up your own Jobber account and get the most out of it so that you can save time and make more money in your business. So we're going to start here with the home page. It says, "Good morning, Austin." The workflow will kind of show you how many requests you have and how many quotes you've sent out, how many jobs you have for the day, and then how many invoices you have out. Luckily, we don't have any accounts receivable right now. We went really hard on collecting all of our summer payments and zeroed that out before we started snow plowing. And right now, visits are easy with snow plowing. We track the visits, and I'll do another video later specific to snow plowing so that if you're in the snow plowing business, I'll show you how to set up recurring jobs so that Jobber can automatically track your visits. Let's start with the requests. So what are requests? Requests are anybody who fills out a form on your website. So Jobber gives you a really cool feature to create a form specific to Jobber and easily add that into your website. So if you go to my website here, it's bearclawlandservices.com. When a customer lands here, they can click this button, get a free quote. You'll see here, inbound lead form is on our website. So you can capture first name, last name, company name, if applicable, email, phone number, address, what types of services are you interested in? The customer can check any of these different services that we offer. Now, the really cool thing about this is a Jobber native form. So anything that is filled out into these boxes is automatically added inside Jobber as a request. You can see what type of services are you interested in. Day click fire mitigation. Tell us about your project. Please provide as much information as you can. Not only does it automatically create a request, it automatically creates a client. So you can go back over here to the client tab and you can search for that customer. That same customer already has a profile created within Jobber under your client tab because they filled out a form on your website that was a Jobber embedded form. Now, this is something I recommend you do. If you have a web designer, make sure you go into Jobber here. And the way that you get to that is settings. You would go to requests and we're going to click customize form. So I would recommend just copy and pasting this. If you can commit to reaching out within 24 hours, that's way too slow in my opinion. You need to be calling your customers as soon as possible, in my opinion. And we have an automation that we've built in. We use a software called Zapier, Zapier. It integrates with most website platforms. You can send yourself a Slack message. You can text yourself lead information. You can email yourself all of this stuff. So basically you'll want to set up first name, last name, company name, email, phone number, address. I recommend grabbing project details. So what types of service is the customer interested in? And tell us about your project. I tell them to please provide as much information as you can, because this gives you the information as either the owner or your sales rep insight on what that customer is looking for before you jump on a phone call with them. For our services, property size is important. For some of you, like, that's not going to be important. Just make sure to add something here to collect more information on if you're doing, let's say you're doing hardscaping, maybe like rough square footage of your hardscaping area or landscaping. We live in a rural area, so I ask people to drop a Google and Apple Maps pin because Google and Apple Maps doesn't always work. If you do live in a rural area where Google and Apple Maps doesn't work great for you, this can be a great way to eliminate the whole back and forth of like, hey, can you send me the directions or can you text me a pin? Just give them the opportunity to drop it in here, and then it's going to come over into their account. So those are some quick ways to save time. So you'll make sure to update the form. Okay, I allow people to upload images, and then after you'll want to go to preview and you'll be able to scroll down and make sure it looks good. After you set up that request form template, you will go back here. And what we're going to do is grab some custom code. All right. So we need to share the request form visible to clients and new leads. You want to make sure that that toggle is on. Okay. And then this add to website, you will want to view the embed. Brand colors, all you need to do is copy this and send this to your web design agency, send this code to them, and then tell them, hey, I want a page very similar to get a free estimate on Bear Claw Land Services website. So you can go and use this link and show them the example of what you want. Any web designer will know exactly what to do with that code. If you're doing it yourself, just do a quick Google search, how to embed custom code on X, whether it be a WordPress site, Webflow, Wix. I hope you're not building your site in Wix. Hopefully you're building on WordPress or Webflow for SEO purposes. But just do a quick Google search if you're still DIYing your website. If you're not, reach out to Striker Digital. They build websites and do SEO. That's striker-digital.com. They are one of our partners as well. I've used them for multiple businesses to get us to the top of Google search. So let's go back. We're going to stay on Jobber here and we're going to go over the quotes. This one's already been quoted, but you can easily take a client from a request and you can click convert to quote. The reason I love Jobber is it makes it so seamless and easy. After they've already captured the request's information, you can just click convert to quote and it's going to pull all of the information over into this quote. Okay. So you want to add the salesperson. We do our project categories. You can set this up in your settings as well. We like to track our revenue based on our project category. So let's put this road grading services. Here on the quotes, you can add products and services. Depending on how you like to do your estimates, you can separate them out. If you had to do trucking and hauling, $150 an hour, and you needed, let's say you needed 8 hours of trucking. Let's say you needed, you maybe had to excavate some material out. So we need to load the material out, $150 per hour. Let's say that that's like 3 hours of loading. Let's do excavation. These should all be 165 updated as of 2025. 8 hours of excavation, road grading, and you can create products and services on the fly. Every time you update the quantity, it will automatically multiply the quantity by the unit price and put that in the total here. And then it's going to automatically calculate your total here as well. What Jobber allows you to do inside a quote is also really nice. You can require a deposit down. So we require 50% deposit on all of our projects. It will automatically calculate that deposit if you put a percentage here. Toggle on and off whether you want to accept card payments or ACH. Now, there is going to be a credit card processing fee. I believe it's like right around 3%, 2.9% plus 70 cents or something like that. So roughly 3%. Bank payments is roughly 1% off the total price. We live in a rural area. I have to go to the post office to pick up a check. Then I have to go to the bank, drop it off. It's all time, right? As an owner, I will gladly pay. I push people towards ACH a lot because I don't want to pay 3% when I can pay 1. But I will gladly pay 1% towards saving me the time of running around. You can also add a client message. Hi, I put our terms and services in this contract and disclaimer, and you can go into your settings and add this in to a quote template. All right, so every quote that you send, it has your terms and conditions. All right. And then when they sign the quote, they are agreeing to that. Okay. So what you would do is click save. And I always send his email and send his text message. Once you click that button, the customer will have this quote in their email. They will be prompted to sign from their phone or from the computer. They can use the e-sign functionality, agree to your terms and services, and also remit the 50% deposit. If you didn't want to send it, you can just click save quote. Let's say that you got a notification that this person accepted the quote. You would go up here and you can use Jobber to build your schedule. Why is this important? Because everybody on your team needs to know where they're going and what day they are going to any given job. So when you convert this to a job, you're going to add this to a schedule. So let's say that we were going to do this on January 29th and it was a 2-day job. January 30th, start time 8 a.m., end time 5 p.m. Then we're going to assign this. We're going to assign this to myself, and you can email the team about the assignment. So when you add users to Jobber, your team members, you can easily email them whenever you add a new job. Okay, then you'll review here, make sure everything looks good. You got the deposit. It will show that's paid after they're paid. And then you can save that job, and it's going to show up on your schedule as a visit. So you can use Jobber to manage your job schedule. And this is super important because all of our team members get an app on their phone, and whenever they log in on any given day, they know where they're going, when they're going, and they can also view any notes that were added by the project manager or the estimator. The next piece, the thing that we all love as business owners, is sending the invoice. So whenever this job is completed, the project manager or yourself, whoever's managing the back end, can come in here and click completed. After it's completed, we would click close job first, and then you will want to generate an invoice. Jobber allows you to manage the process of customer acquisition to quoting to job scheduling to invoicing very seamlessly, as you can see, and it tracks all the details associated with it very seamlessly all throughout the process. So you don't have to keep creating multiple different things for the same client. So payment date, I always do upon receipt. I ask for a review. This is part of the Grow plan. We will do, like I mentioned earlier, a video about upgrading from the core plan, starter or core plan, to the Grow plan, which I just recently did. And this is a functionality that is on the Grow plan only. So this feature toggled on and off. You can ask for a review. We are in the business of delivering 5-star service here at Bear Claw. And if you get reviews, it's going to help your SEO. We'll get into that in another video. It keeps all of the details associated with the quote and with the job very seamless, all in one spot, specific to this customer and this job. Now, if the customer were to add anything onto that job, a change order, you could go in and add excavation, additional, right? Let's say they asked for like another area that needed to be excavated to be repaired, and you needed to do like 4 more hours. You can easily add that for the invoice. It will automatically add that to the total that they owe you, less the amount that they already paid for their deposit. So all this math and all this calculation is handled by Jobber. And this is one thing I just absolutely love, because it makes billing and accounts receivable super easy. Okay. You can keep the same payment settings that you had. Please note the credit card transactions and ACH. What I do is I turn the accept credit card payments off, and then I allow ACH. That way it prompts them specifically for an ACH payment. And then if the customer wants to pay via credit card, they can call me, and then I will turn that on. Then you can just click save and send us text message, send us email. The customer has their invoice, and they have the ability to pay right there from their phone or from their computer. This cuts down on so much time for you as a business owner. Yes, even if you're paying the ACH fee or the credit card fee, even if you're eating that, it's worth it, in my opinion, not to have to run around and chase checks and deposit everything. Once they pay that and you link your bank account in Jobber, you can go into settings and link your bank account, then Jobber will do automated payouts to your bank, and it makes it super easy. The next thing that I like about Jobber is, at least on the core plan, they allow for invoice follow-ups. When you send an invoice, an email will be sent out. You can change these settings 1 day, 2 day, 3 day after the invoice was sent to remind the customer to pay the invoice. Now, let's say you sent the invoice, and your question might be, what is this collect payment function? Let's say that you sent the invoice and your client calls you and they're like, hey, I want to pay you over the phone. You should be like, okay, great. You just click collect payment, click credit card, name on card, input it, input their card number, charge. Super easy. They want to do bank payment, ACH. If they write you a check and they're insistent on writing you a check and you have to go pick that up from the post office or the bank or your mailbox, whatever, then whenever you get that, whenever you deposit it, I would put check number 4567, whatever check number is, and then I would save an email receipt. Now you have log of that check payment. This is kind of a high level overview of Jobber and how we use it within our business. I hope this is helpful for you, and I hope it can show you how we use Jobber on the back end to manage our clients' information, send quotes, manage a job schedule, and send invoices and get paid which is what we're in business to do. So if you have not already chosen to use Jobber, I would encourage you to do so. You're going to get 20% off once again if you use this link to sign up right here. So I do appreciate you watching, and I want to answer questions that you have. So specific questions that you want me to go deeper on within Jobber, leave those questions in the comments below, and then I will create more videos based on the questions that y'all have as viewers. I love small business. I love owning and operating, and I hope that you do too. Jobber is one reason why it increases my love of small business, because it makes my life so much easier. And I know it can make your life easier too. So if you do decide to give Jobber a chance, let us know in the comments below if you do. If you haven't already, check out our podcast, Owner Ops Podcast. That's spelled OWNROPS.com. We're also on Apple, Spotify. We post our videos to YouTube here as well. With that, let's wrap up this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, work hard, do your best, never settle for less.